Hello friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Let's kick off today's video with a story in which our OP faced down the most tyrannical diner customer you've ever heard of. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with a turned on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Rich lady's sandwich order had 15 steps and 0 respect. My wife and I worked in a diner in a rich neighborhood. There was a woman who made every single server cry at one point or another. She would come in for dinner and order a grilled ham and cheese sandwich on white bread, but the toast had to be griddled on the inside before assembling the sandwich, and then one slice of American cheese, then one slice of Swiss, then one singular slice of thin deli ham, then Swiss again, American, then it had to be grilled on the outside. Upon getting her sandwich, she would pull everything apart and inspect the color of the grilled bread on all sides. Too lightly griddled, it went back. Too brown, it went back. 2 slices of ham, it went back, and you'd get no tip. The worst thing was that as soon as the cooks would master her sandwich and stop getting it sent back, she'd change something about it, like asking for it not to be grilled on the inside that day, but the cooks would see her and make it the old way. She started demanding we print out a receipt with our kitchen directions so she could check our work, too. Same woman had 15 rules for a BLT. She eventually started ordering a platter of BLT ingredients to assemble her own sandwich at her table. She'd get like double the ingredients that way, but would assemble a sandwich onto a plate and then make us take away the platter of extra ingredients, as if to prove she only wanted her one perfect sandwich and nothing more. What I still can't believe is that this woman ordered the most basic kids menu food that you could get ingredients for at a gas station and prepare yourself in 5 minutes. Then she turned it into an hour-long nightmare for the servers and cooks instead. New owners finally banned her butt after years for wasting food and wasting our time. I was so glad because I was the only server who she would allow to serve her at that point, because I was the only male, and I'm pretty sure all the nonsense she was doing was more a power move over younger women. I had a ton of customers that only I was allowed to serve because the old rich men would be too touchy or say gross things to the women. Looking back, I can't believe we didn't ban them or call the cops in some instances. People are disgusting towards service industry workers. I get your frustration, but this lady sounds like she has some combination of OCD and or ASD. She could just be an a-hole Karen, but it sounds like there's more to this one. Then it's also her responsibility to get diagnosed and be aware of her mental issues. It's still your responsibility how you treat others, and if you have mental health issues, you do not get a free pass to abuse others. And our second story. He blocked my driveway, I stayed patient, he slashed my tires, I brought receipts. So let me set the scene. I live in a typical suburb with narrow streets and just enough driveways to keep everyone guessing where to park. There's a tight little slot in front of my house, not a real parking space, more like an awkward bumper-length strip that barely fits a car without overlapping the driveway. But hey, when I park there and block my own driveway, no problem. If I need to leave, I just slide my car out. No drama, no waiting on anyone. Now enter my lazy next-door neighbor. Let's call him Paul. Paul's the type of guy who believes common courtesy is a myth invented by people who expect too much. For reasons that can only be described as aggressively inconsiderate, Paul decided that my tight little spot was his new favorite parking place. Mind you, Paul has his own driveway. He also has 2 legal street spots directly in front of his house. But those are permanently filled with the cars of his 2 adult kids who apparently believe the road is just an extension of their garage. So what does Paul do? He parks his car directly in front of my house, blocking my driveway just enough that I can't back out. And instead of moving it when I needed to leave, he expected me to ring his damn bell like I was ordering takeout. At first, I kept it civil. I'd knock, he'd grumble, sometimes send his surly son out with all the enthusiasm of a slug in traffic. Then came the sighs, the stares, the muttered, "Ugh," again under his breath. "Dude, you're blocking me. What the hell do you want me to do, levitate?" Eventually, I'd had enough, but rather than escalate it myself, the universe handed me an unlikely angel of revenge. My sister. She was staying with me for a few weeks, and unlike me, she's not bound by that delicate balance of being the bigger person. The next time Paul parked in the spot and blocked my driveway, she waited until the sweet, vengeful hours of the night, midnight to be exact, and rang his doorbell. And rang, until someone dragged themselves to the door, bleary-eyed and irritated. She said, dead serious, I need to get out now, emergency, I need medicine. Which wasn't technically a lie. She needed relief from the migraine caused by Paul's entitlement. Paul didn't say a word. He just moved the car, no size, no attitude, just defeat. Then she did it again the next night. Knock, knock, knock. Time for your daily ego check, Paul. Again, dead silent compliance. Maybe she just had that crazy woman with nothing to lose vibe. Either way, they never gave her the lip they gave me. Now, you'd think that would have solved the issue, but no, Paul's entitlement runs deep, like a mold problem you can't bleach out. So the next time he parked there and blocked me in again, that's when I decided it was time to stop being nice. See, I'm a cop, and while I don't flash the badge to win petty wars, I do know how to make a call to the right tow company. So I did. Quietly, officially, legally. And I watched from my window as Paul's precious ride got hauled off into the sunrise like a villain being dragged off stage. For a glorious week after that, silence, peace, not a single tire squeaked near my driveway. Paul even avoided eye contact. Until one morning, I step outside and bam, 4 flat tires. Clean slashes, not a puncture, not bad luck. Someone wanted to send a message. Too bad for them I'm the wrong mailbox to put that letter in. That's where the badge comes in handy. Because the moment I filed the police report and pulled the security cam footage, oh look, guess whose silhouette and very distinct limp just so happened to show up on camera skulking around my car at 2:43 a.m. with something shiny in hand. You'd be amazed how quickly someone loses their bravado when they realize they vandalized a cop's personal vehicle on camera and left enough evidence to make a prosecutor salivate. Paul got a lovely visit from one of my colleagues. He now parks religiously in front of his own house. I just love stories where annoying neighbors get what they deserve. Great job, OP. And the fact that you didn't use your badge in petty squabbles makes the story even better. And our last story. HOA Karen versus wife moved in. Mark and I moved into the cottage community of Sunset Estates at the end of May. A mid-sized house, a 15-year mortgage, 2 5-year-old twins, a dog, and a clear plan. I'd keep working at the IT company where I made about $160K last year, while Mark stayed home with the kids and picked up freelance design gigs whenever he had an hour. The setup had proved itself long ago. We never needed a nanny, and the kids weren't stuck in after-school care all day. On our very first morning, a slim blonde in a business suit appeared in the yard. She didn't greet Mark, who was unloading boxes, but thrust a thick folder into my hands. I'm Karen, the HOA president. Here are the rules. Thank you, I said. I've read everything and provide passports, whatever's required. Karen's gaze slid to my husband, who was holding the kids. So he doesn't work? She asked coolly. Mark's with the children right now, I explained. It works best for us. Karen raised an eyebrow. Well, everyone makes their own choices. She tossed over her shoulder and walked away. That same day, we got an email. Our mailbox was too bright a shade of red. Wednesday brought the next. Our garden lights clashed with the overall aesthetic. Friday, another. The lawn was higher than 2.5 inches. And on Saturday, Karen snapped a photo of the chalk dinosaur the kids had drawn on the walkway and shared it in the neighborhood chat as evidence of vandalism. The gossip came quickly. In the grocery store, I overheard 2 women talking about that unemployed man in the new house and the career woman whose kids raised themselves. One evening, the twins came back from the playground asking why the lady with the earrings said Dad did nothing all day. Mark sighed, wiped flour from his hands. He was baking a pie and calmly told them that people sometimes mix up facts with their own assumptions. A week later, Mark took the kids fishing at a river outside town. An hour after they left, a police SUV rolled into our driveway. 2 officers politely explained, "We received a report of a possible child abduction by a man in a gray van." "That's my husband and my children," I said, showing them photos on my phone. "They're catching perch. Here's their live location. Feel free to call." The officers apologized, confirmed that the caller was Karen G., and assured me they'd clarify the difference between kidnapping and family fishing. That evening, as soon as Mark and the twins got home, I knocked on Karen's door. She opened it holding a glass of white wine. "Karen, why the police?" I asked, still calm. "Community safety is my duty," she replied. "A suspicious man with kids? You never know." "Understood, but this is already a second baseless call? It's harassment." Karen straightened as if remembering a script. Listen, my husband's a big box at Premium Soft. We're people of real standing, and your husband can't even provide for his family. You just insulted two people in one sentence. I said, remember, slander and unfounded complaints are easy to prove in court. She slammed the door. The next morning, we removed every excuse, repainted the mailbox the standard desert beige, swapped the lights for an improved model, mowed the lawn to exactly 2.1 inches, washed away the chalk dinosaur, though the kids were sad. Karen hovered nearby but walked off silently. No violations, nothing to report. 2 days later, I attended a private corporate lunch for execs from several IT firms. NDA, so no details. I arrived early and was standing by the shrimp platter when I heard a familiar voice behind me. "Oh, Jessica, what a pleasure," Karen cooed. A tall brunette in a gray suit stood next to her. "Honey, this is my wonderful neighbor, Jessica," she announced. He smiled and extended a hand. "Daniel Meyer, CTO of Premium Soft. You'll be managing my Line Cloud project? Great to meet you." Karen nearly dropped her clutch. She'd called him a big boss, but now I realized I outranked him. "Karen and I go way back," I said. "She cares a lot about order in our neighborhood." "Excellent," Daniel said. "Community support's important." Karen, pale, managed a stiff nod. I excused myself so the scene wouldn't drag on. Behind me, I heard her whisper, "I'll explain everything later." That very night, a long message hit the residents' WhatsApp chat. "There's been a misunderstanding. All previous warnings are canceled. Please join Saturday's Friendship Fair. Coffee and cookies on me. In a separate envelope under our door lay a written apology, an official cancellation of fines, and a $300 spa certificate." Mark laughed for 5 minutes straight. A month later, life on the street felt different. Karen no longer measured lawn height or photographed chalk drawings. She even brought over a box of colored chalk and encouraged the twins to draw whatever you like. Creativity first. At HOA meetings, we discussed useful things. Car speed near the park, extra lights at the corner, a group discount on leaf pickup. One morning, neighbor Bob strolled up while I was watering the bushes. "I don't know what you did to that lady, but now she's as polite as a business-class flight attendant." I just reminded her how fragile a reputation can be, I said. The next time the kids chalked their favorite dinosaur on the path, no one erased it for over a week. Karen walked by, glanced at it, smiled, and asked its name. The twins say she has a friendly face now. I'm not sure it's friendship, more a healthy fear of losing status. But it suits us. We live in peace. Mark bakes pies, I write code and run projects, and the neighbors stop tiptoeing. Honestly, I'm still sickened by how fast people change their tone once they learn a job title. But I took away 2 simple truths. First, flawless compliance is the best shield against petty tyrants. Second, a blow to one's reputation hurts more than any lawsuit. The kids also learned that dads ignore the gossip advice really works. When they asked for chalk again, I handed them the whole box. The dinosaur came out bigger, brighter, and Karen praised it, saying the yard looked alive. Irony scented with colored dust and wet grass turned out to be the perfect finale to our little HOA drama. I hope Karen's learned to respect other people a little bit after that hint. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.